Hello there, and welcome to episode 3 of the How Uncivilized Podcast. This is our second series of podcast, and it's all about the film Rogue One, hence the title, The Rogue Ones. Since we've discussed everything Jinn in our previous episode, it's now time we look at the sins of the father and the mother. Galen and Lyra Erso only briefly appeared on our screens, but boy, do we have a lot to say about them. Lyra is being placed under the microscope this week, so Galen, you're safe for now. As for you, yes, you, sit back, get out some spelunking tools, context for that is coming later, and enjoy.
Yeah, I think it seems like I'm connected pretty strongly, and you've got it on your end. So
Yeah.
Let us begin. Hello there.
Hello there.
And welcome to episode 3 and 4 of the How Uncivilized podcast, and we're on series 2 now, and we're looking at Rogue One.
Yeah.
So you're joining us on our lovely little meander through the whole film of Rogue One in terms of characters, locations, stuff like that. Am I right, Charles?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is all about our favourite film, Rogue One. So we're done with the sequel trilogy. We're back to...
Thank God.
Yeah. A film
I'm really neutral.
Yeah,
I'm like Switzerland when it comes to this. Yeah,
enjoyed
absolutely.
it. To be honest, I just don't really care. But you know, I do care about Rogue One and all of the extended lore around it. And
do you know what would be cool? Do you know what would be really cool?
What would be really cool?
If just a podcast did 2 episodes simultaneously on Galen Erso and Lyra Erso, Jinn's parents.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that just be really great?
That would be really great. I mean, I've always wanted to know more about those 2 characters. So if only there was a podcast where I would learn about each character individually over the course of 2 episodes.
I mean, we would be so lucky to find anything like that on the web.
Yeah, that would be incredible. So anyway, Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, let's go into Borgullet.
Yes.
And
weird
his,
tentacle creatures.
Sexual tentacles.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you join us here, yes. We'll be looking at Galen Erso and Lyra Erso in today's episode. So again, we both watched Rogue One, in case you wanted to know how we got to this point, and we each wrote down questions for each other.
What decisions did we make which led us to this moment?
If you're quite the maverick and have come in at episode 3
of series 2,
yeah, exactly. Here's a little. Bit of background for you regarding our research of Rogue One. So we both went away, wrote questions, and then basically the other person has to answer the other person's questions, basically. So Charlie's answering mine, I'm answering his. And yes, today is the Ersos, Family of the Year.
And we did quite well. By pure coincidence, this time I asked a bunch of questions about Galen Erso, and your questions, you asked them all about Lyra Erso. So what we've decided to do is split the questions in half. First of all, I'm going to tell you all about Lyra Erso, and then we're going to switch the tables. I will become the listener, Spencer will become the speaker, and he will talk all about Galen Erso.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Me neither.
Now I am the master.
And I am the listener. But first, I will be the talker.
Oh, let it begin then, Charles. Take it away. Tell us more about this mysterious Lyra who was murdered within 5 minutes of Rogue One.
Yes, but left an impact, you know. And I don't just mean in Krennic's shoulder, am I right? Oh.
Whoa! Whoa! Slow down! Slow down! Whoa! God, I need to just take something for that. That has just got me good.
Seriously, though, she died very quickly and was very useless.
Yes, she was very useless and very stupid.
Yeah, always shoot first, am I right? You know, be like Han Solo and shoot first.
Exactly. Oh dear. Yeah, it always turns out well for them in the end. As I recall, Han Solo, you know, lived a relatively, you know, prosperous life and died of natural causes. So all's well that ends well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So clearly all those good decisions led to a very good place for all those characters.
Exactly. And that is the moral of the story, you know. Stupidity means prosperity.
Absolutely.
Ignorance is bliss, in other words.
Ignorance is bliss. And with that, we'll end today's podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye there. No.
Okay, so your 2 questions, which you asked, there were 2 pretty simple questions. So question 1 was, who is Lyra? And by that, I'm assuming you meant Lyra Erso, in case there's some other Lyra I've just completely researched the wrong person.
No. I was talking about that shadow trooper on the far left.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
I see.
Yeah, I think... Have you not... Did you not get that? I mean...
No,
what's your research?
I researched Jin's mother, because I thought that was the whole theme of... Wait, was that Death Trooper actually Jin's mother? I didn't know that.
Well, a bit of ginception for you there. There's thank you. Let's add a little symbol thing there just for good measure in post, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second question you asked were, where were the Ersos working in the flashback? And so what that refers to is, in the film, you get a little flashback to Jin's childhood, and it's her on a mysterious city planet. I say mysterious, it was Coruscant. You know, not to spoil the end of that question, it was Coruscant. You know, and we see Galen and Lyra with good old Krennic having a chat. And
good old
Galen
Krenny boy
goes up to little Jin and he's like, Stardust. I'm going to call you Stardust. That'll be important later. Stardust. Remember the word Stardust.
Seems like contraband in the Star Wars universe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of like spice.
Want to buy some
juice.
Stardust? Like death sticks, you know? Want to buy some death sticks?
You want to go home and kill yourself.
I want to go home and kill myself.
Oh, that bit's so good.
No. Again, Oral Nauts, guys, just go check them out. They've got some great content.
Yeah. Even just the original bit in the film is so good. Just
you
want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life.
That is one of the high points in the prequel trilogy, I would definitely say.
Yeah, absolutely. At no point during any criticism of Attack of the Clones has anyone ever criticized that little exchange, because it's perfect.
Exactly. What more could you want?
Yeah.
And it's so thuggish. I mean, it's like... It's almost like James Bond kind of esque.
Yeah.
You know, he just goes up to the bar and he's just like, you know, I want a Coruscanti martini, you know.
Yeah.
Lightsaber, not blasted. And then...
I'm rolling with it. Keep going. You still got me.
And, you know, he just sits there and he's just taking it all in. And then he just randomly, you know, James Bond-esque style, you know, in the same way James Bond would just... you know, quite nonchalantly pull out a gun and just shoot some guy in the stomach.
Yep.
Obi-Wan pulls out his lightsaber and chops off a limb, as is commonplace in Lucas's Star Wars.
Yep, that's just what he does. He just chops off some limbs, finishes his drink, and goes home. And that's just an average day.
That's just a day in the life of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Wobany.
Wobany 1, Wobany 2.
Brilliant. Anyway.
But yeah, moving quite swiftly on, let's
moving
talk
on to the
about,
actual task
Lyra.
in hand. Yes. So question 1. Who is Lyra? Who is she? Where did she come from?
Where did she go?
Exactly. Thank you, Spencer.
Where did she come from? Lyra Erso.
Well, she actually came from Aria Prime.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me more. Like, did she have a car?
I mean, I'm assuming at some point she had a car. She had to get to places somehow. She had a spaceship, maybe. Yeah.
From planet A to planet B, indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Round, get around, she gets around.
Absolutely. So, in 47 BBY, that's when she was born.
Yeah.
She grew up on Aria Prime with her mother. As far as I can tell, no father on the scene for poor Lyra, maiden name unknown. I was very disappointed. Not only do we not know her maiden name, we don't know the name of her mother or anything, and it's just, come on,
that's
guys.
quite tame.
Yeah, fill out the details. I know
Try
this
a little
is
harder.
Jin's grandparents, but still, come up with some more names, please.
Well, you know what? Let's just create a quick fix and just say she's a Palpatine.
Yeah.
She's probably a Palpatine. I mean, the way the universe goes, the amount of little baby spawns that he's made, she's most likely a Palpatine.
Absolutely. So Lyra Palpatine, she grew up on Aria Prime, and then when she was 18 in 29 BBY, she went to university. Which is something I didn't realize happened in Star Wars, is people go to university. I mean,
apparently they do.
I guess so. That, of course they would go to university, because how else would you get highly educated people? But it's something I never really considered in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense to a point, obviously. But yeah, I didn't know they were that evolved in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always thought it was, you either become a senator or you join the army. Or you become a Jedi. Those are your three options. I haven't seen any other option. Or you're a bad guy.
Yeah. Or you're just on a desert planet doing nothing in particular.
Yeah, just digging some holes.
Yeah. But she studied the history and philosophy of the Jedi, which I love, because it's even Star Wars has crappy arts degrees that you can get.
Oh dear, I wonder what that was called. A bachelor's in let's think about it. A badge, a Bachelor of Arts in Jedi, a badge.
Badge. Yeah. Lyra Palpatine badge.
Badge with honors.
With honors. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So I went down a little hole of being Star Wars has universities. Let's find out more. So she went to the University of Rudrig, and Rudrig
is that in Germany?
I don't think that's in Germany now. Yes. So Lyra was born on Aria Prime and went to art college in Munster.
Well, I mean, why can't the Earth be in
absolutely
in the universe?
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be. It says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, implying that it is somehow. If there was enough technology, it would be in reach.
Yeah, it's just very far away.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, who says time travel's impossible? I'm going to say it's really possible. I mean, don't look into it too hard and don't think about it too hard.
But
I'm pretty sure it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about the Uni of Rudrig is that Rudrig was obviously the name of the planet, and I found it really amusing, the idea of going to a university called University of Earth.
That just sounds like, I don't know, that sounds like something you sign up for when you join Greenpeace or something.
Yeah.
That doesn't, I'm now part of the University of Earth.
It's what people say. It's the new, I went to the School of Hard Knocks. I went to the University of Rudrig. It's don't mess with Lyra. She went to the Uni of Rudrig.
Oh, man. But that also implies...
she's a Palpatine.
Yeah, well, she is a Palpatine. I mean, it goes without saying that anyone without a last name... I mean, Yoda's a Palpatine as well, as far as I can say.
Oh, yeah.
Yoda Palpatine, But it does make you think, if there's a University of Rudrig, surely there's got to be unis across most of the planets at the very least.
Yeah.
I'd assume there's a University of Coruscant, which would be similar to Oxford or Cambridge.
Probably, yeah. There's probably an Oxford and a Cambridge on Coruscant. Because I looked it up, and on the planet of Naboo, Theed alone apparently housed several universities. So that's one city on one planet had several universities. So clearly there's many to choose from for your higher education.
Whew, filling out that UCAS form must be a bitch. I mean, all those choices you've got to narrow down.
I mean, I struggled to pick a uni, and I only had to pick ones within the UK.
Yeah, exactly. I've just done a search for Republic history, and it's come up with 3,892 results. So we're going to have to go on at least 1,500 open days, Mum and Dad.
Yes.
Let's get these booked in.
Do you spend any time at school at all, or do you just spend your entire time going to galactic open days?
I imagine that's most of it. No wonder Yoda's so old. He spent half his life looking for universities.
Yeah.
And eventually decided, fuck this. I'm going to take some drugs and go spiritual.
Yeah, he spent 25 years, on, let's say, Jakku, where he truly found himself.
Yeah. He truly became one with the Force. Wink, wink.
And the Force
Get me some more Stardust,
me.
damn it. Stardust I like. Snort it, I will. Anyway.
Yeah, so to bring it back down to Earth in
Earth University.
Yeah, in a horrible reminder of real life, apparently her mother had to take out a loan to pay for her education.
Oh, what? Why do they have to? This is Star Wars. Why do we need to hear about loans? Ugh.
Yeah, so space loans exist.
Spoons.
And I also found that Lyra also helped pay off these loans by a job providing footage for something called HoloNet. And at first I was like, what is HoloNet? Is this like space OnlyFans? But no, it's apparently a galactic news network. So it's all above board. It's all legit.
Yeah, I found that as well, because it was part of what Galen was doing, as I will speak about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's almost like I get the idea that it's sort of like the BBC of the universe rather than the Fox News.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more like public broadcasting rather than like politicized stuff coming out of like Fox or CBS or
so it
or
considers
Sky.
itself neutral, and like the BBC means that everyone hates it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like all the right wingers think the BBC is too far left, all the left wingers think the BBC is too far right, and it just makes no one happy.
Oh, exactly. And I'm sure everyone hated the HoloNet just as equally.
Typical liberal HoloNet, brainwashing all our kids.
To be fair, though, later on it did turn into the HoloNet did turn into Fox News, because obviously the Empire took it over and it was used to put out sort of propaganda by the Empire. So it came full circle. It went BBC to Fox News. Like
beautiful.
In other news, the damn rebels are at it again. Grr.
Oh man, what a horrible parallel to real life.
Yeah, let's not. We're here for a bit of escapism, so let's not delve too deep into the realities that we currently find ourselves situated in.
Absolutely. So, at the age of 21, after she left university, she met with Galen Erso, her future hubby, and she worked with Galen's team of scientists as a guide as they searched for unnamed crystal, which we can kind of assume are kyber crystals, on the planet Espinar. So essentially what she was she was a glorified cave tour guide on this planet. I'm not really sure how she managed to become an expert in the caves on Espinar with her History of the Jedi arts degree, but there
are some pretty decent graduate programs, I hear.
Yeah, everyone's got to have a hobby, I guess, and I guess hers was spelunking. Good for her. And so using her knowledge of the cave system, they were able to explore the cave's well. Unfortunately, they never found any kyber crystals, but they did find something else. Love.
Wait. Oh, they found love. Oh,
yeah.
That's a disappointment. Yuck.
What do you mean? That's... They found love in a cave. That's got to be pretty rare.
I mean, that's pretty raw.
Oh, wow. Raw?
Red raw. Fucking raw. Oh, dear. I'm sure they had fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm just imagining, something happening and accidentally, falling onto a stalactite, something...
something
sharp. Oh, one might indeed approacheth the pike. No, they must have had some raunchy times in there. Yeah. I'm sure.
Must have had some good times. Good times.
Yeah.
They must have had a really good time because 6 months later they were married on Coruscant, which is good for them. Clearly had a very good time in the cave.
Well, they obviously did.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously knocked her up. I don't know what the rules are on, and I don't know whether they're overly religious. Some people are part of the Church of the Force. I don't know if it's still a socially acceptable thing to propose if you knock someone up.
I mean, if he did knock her up, what are you suggesting? Because Jin wasn't born until 3 years later. Are you just gonna? Are you gonna keep it nice and say just a long incubation period?
Yeah. Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah,
let's not say that she slept
leave it
around.
At that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh dear.
So they were married on Coruscant, but I found there's an almost conflicting account of how they actually ended up on Coruscant. Because
okay.
One source I've found says that they moved to Coruscant from Aria Prime, which is her home planet.
Yeah.
Due to her mother's failing health and the Clone Wars. But the Clone Wars didn't start until 3 years after they were married. And by that time, they were located on a different planet called Vault, where they were doing research. And where they were later imprisoned. And it was only on Vault that Jin was born. So did they go back to Aria Prime after they got married? Or did they go back there after... they were freed from the vault? Spoiler alert, I'll get there later. Or did they go back to Coruscant before? Because Coruscant is where Jin was raised, so they were there definitely from after Jin was born. So it's one of these weird things if they said, oh, we need to leave Aria Prime for Coruscant. And it's like, when did we ever live on Aria Prime? That's
when did this come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah, maybe they just popped back just to say hi.
Possibly.
Lyra's mum?
Maybe they didn't stay there for long. Maybe it was just, another 6 months or so. But essentially they were based properly in Coruscant. It was only after they went to Vault where they were working on their kyber crystal research. Yeah. And whilst they were there was a coup in which the previous king called King Chai was killed.
Oh dear!
And
King
they replaced him with Marshal Farah, and Marshal Farah, she was a separatist ally, so she caught the Ersos when they tried to escape and imprisoned them on false charges of espionage.
Ooh!
When in fact they were detained for a mixture of their pro-Republic leanings and also Galen's research into kyber crystals.
Okay.
Although, you could argue they were spies because they were Republic or pro-Republic leaning, Galen, I'm sure you'll talk about this more, Galen himself was definitely more of a conscientious objector type figure. Like although he wasn't really into the separatists or anything, he was definitely the kind of person who was more like, keep your head down, get your work done kind of person.
Oh, definitely. Definitely for the majority of his working life, that's for sure.
Yeah. And so, they were imprisoned on this planet called Vault in this, it's what's described as the keep. I'm imagining it's just essentially a big castle type thing or big center where they keep all the prisoners and that's where everyone lives who were doing the work with the crystals. So in their time there, Jin was born. Yay, Jin. We like Jin.
Yay!
And although they were imprisoned separately, Galen was actually allowed to be there for the birth, which was very nice. That's nice of Marshal Farah for letting them be together for the birth. That's very, very generous.
That is incredibly generous. I mean, wow.
Not in my prison, I can tell you that.
That is way against the health and safety code. I would have that marshal locked up myself. That is disgusting.
A punishment, not a holiday.
This is disgusting. This is a children's prison, damn it. This should not be happening just live out on the floor.
So, 6 months after Jin's birth, when she was but 6 months old, they were rescued. I want to put rescued in inverted commas. So they were rescued, inverted commas, by Orson Krennic, and it was actually...
goody.
Yeah, it was actually a prisoner exchange. So it wasn't really a rescue. It was just...
business.
Galen, Lyra, and Jin were swapped for 2 separatist scientists in just a swap.
Well, that is just grand.
Yeah. And then after this rescue, in inverted commas, Krennic then ordered the keep where they were imprisoned to be destroyed by the Republic. And not only did this kill many people or many inhabitants of the planet, it also killed the Erso's fellow prisoners who had been in prison with them. So, good job, Krennic.
Well, you know what they say. Don't look back in anger. Or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
don't
like that.
Don't focus on the past too heavy, you know.
Yes.
No regrets.
Said the band with a notorious rivalry.
Oh, they're so funny.
What a mess.
Yeah. Manchester's finest, eh?
Is that the best you got, Manchester?
Yeah, it is.
Yes. That's the thing I always find about Krennic is he can't do a nice thing without also doing something just really mean at the same time.
Oh, he's just such a fucking...
I'm gonna save you from this place and then to kill all of your friends that you made there. It's like, come on, man.
You could have just flown away and everyone's happy. Yeah. But instead, he's just so trigger happy. You know, he wants to just please Grand Moff Tarkin. You know, he's doing everything but suck his dick. You know, it's just getting ridiculous.
Honestly. I mean, I'll point out later, but there's another moment where Krennic is just... He does, like, a really bad thing, but then is just weirdly nice about it at the end. And it's like, huh. You know, he just has these weird moments of niceness, which kind of make me like him a bit more. Not as, like, a person, but just as, like, a nuanced character of...
Yeah, he's more interesting. I almost feel like he does that purely, though... in a weird way. I feel like he's playing some sort of game. So he does that to, you know, he plays the nice guy because he knows it's going to benefit him more in the future. And I feel like, he's just playing this kind of, this game where he just wants to rise to the top. He's quite an ambitious kind of character, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's very ambitious. That's what it's all about. That's why he has his little tantrum about, we stand here amidst my
achievements, not yours.
Try not to choke on your aspirations.
No, I really like him as a character, and
me too.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do an episode on him soon.
Oh, definitely. Can't wait at all.
Bring it on, boy.
Yeah. So in 18 BBY. A little bit forward now, Lyra was offered a job by director Krennic on the planet Alpin, and this was to survey the cave systems for kyber crystals. And Lyra correctly guessed that this was just to keep her out of the way whilst Galen was working, because Galen, like I say, kind of person to put his head down, get on with it. She was a bit more questioning and just a bit more annoying for Krennic, I think. So he was like, why don't you do this mission for 3 months on this planet where you're going to survey some caves? And she was like, no. But then Galen was like, oh no, it might be nice. You could take Jin. And she was like, fine.
If I have to.
Yeah, so she went on this little mission surveying these cave systems, and she took Jin with her, and Jin would have been about 4 at this point, so little Jin on her first cave trip mission. I'm sure that must have been very exciting. And they also went with Lyra's friend from childhood called Nari Sable. And I bring up this name because could this be a possible influence for Jin's code name in later life, Nari McVee?
Oh, yes, Nari McVee. Who is Nari McVee?
Who is Nari McVee?
These are the questions.
The Coruscantee.
That we wish to answer.
Yeah.
Actually, no, while we're on it, I could probably give you an idea of actually why I think Nari McVee is quite funny.
Could you? Oh.
I could indeed.
Wow, this is so unexpected, you know? I didn't plan for this at all.
Oh, who knew this was coming up?
Yeah.
I certainly didn't. So, yeah, Nari McVee was used as a name because, and I need to get this right, just make sure I have the right information.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, here we go. So, as Galen's work went on, he became more distant from Jin, and she spent a lot of time in the care of an MV nanny droid nicknamed McVee. During this time, Jin would watch bedtime holodramas. But
bedtime holodramas for kids.
But I actually think this is just a little nod to Nanny McPhee.
Oh.
So
that's so good.
Yeah, exactly. So she got that name from McVee, the droid. And then one of her nicknames was based off the droid called Nari McVee because it was Nanny McVee.
Oh, man.
And yeah,
that's so good. That's nicely done, Spencer. Nicely found.
Yeah, I know. I just found that so funny when I saw it. And I wish I remembered to bring it up in episode 2. But obviously we were so far gone at that point that we were having quite a lot of connection issues in episode 1 and 2, sadly. But Charlie managed to iron it out. But
so
yeah,
you can barely notice, except for that bit where we're like, "Whoops,
whoops, there goes that connection." But yeah, I always thought that was hilarious. Just Nari McVee, a nanny droid.
That's so good.
But there you go. Yeah, that's a little a little hint to where that comes from. Anyway, I think
my favorite thing that you found. That's so good.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny.
Man. Nari McPhee, Nanny McPhee.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite something.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
No, it's hot stuff.
So anyway, they were there for 3 months on this mission. And
very nice.
It's weird. It says 3 months in some places, but then I don't know whether this is an error or what, or if something happened on the way. But by the time they get back, they've been gone 6 months. And it feels like it shouldn't take you, a month and a half to get to places on each side. Yeah.
Well,
so
you'd have thought not. I mean, that's quite a long time. Oh, no. Oh, no, you can't. Sorry, my cat's just jumped up on the desk. No. Come here, Pebble. No. Oh, God. Oh, what are you doing? No, get off the mic. No, it's not yours. No. Oh, he does this thing where he weighs himself down. So he doesn't, no. Come here.
Oh, man, this is going to play so well for an audio-only medium.
It's getting all ASMR because you got upright. Did you hear the purring?
I can hear a faint purring. Yes.
Oh dear! Come on, Pebble. I think I'm just gonna have to. I had the door open because no one's at home, but no, don't rub against the mic. Yeah, I had a door open because no one's at home, but I forgot we have animals.
You have other living creatures.
Yeah, sorry, Pebble. I'm just gonna have to get him out and close the door.
Get out. Sorry, Pebble.
You've made quite the appearance. No, you need to leave now. Bye. So anyway.
Oh, man. Oh, man, you know. Nari McPhee and Pebble making an appearance. Might this be our best episode ever?
I you know what? I'm thinking it's pretty much up there. We've got a lot going on. There's a fat amount of content here. You know,
yeah.
if you're ever in doubt about
stuff going on. Oh, man.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah. On a more sad note, on their return to Coruscant, the three of them, so Lyra, Nari,
My book
and
is
Jin.
covered in cat fur. Sorry, I'm just...
Come on, focus. This is about Star Wars now.
Damn it.
We've had the cat cameo. Now let's focus on the task in hand.
Let's get through it.
Let's focus on the tusk in hand. I might cut that.
Do you know what? Don't cut it. Just add an applause. You know, light applause.
I'll add a
Woo!
good.
Yeah. Woo! There we go. That'll
Nice. Yeah. So on the way back to Coruscant, our team, they witnessed the merciless stripping of resources from
resources.
Planets like
good.
From planets like Samovar and Wadi Rafa by the Empire, and this made Lyra very angry because she's like, "Wow, the Empire's bad. They are literally stripping planets where people live for parts, which is not a good look. Not a good look, guys.
That's really not optimal."
And she was so mad about this, she even brought it up and had like an argument with Krennic about it back on Coruscant, which I'm sure Galen would have been very helpful for, just standing aside and being like, "I'm just doing my work."
just head down, thumbs up.
Yeah. And this, I think, along with probably other things, was what made Lyra finally decide that they need to go into hiding. And that was the following year. So in 18 BBY, that was when they went on their trip. And in 17 BBY, again going backwards because counting down, they finally left to go into hiding. They hid on an outer rim planet called Lama, which I think we mentioned in the last episode as well, or the last couple of
yes,
episodes.
we did.
Yeah, and there they had their own little self-sustaining homestead type dealio, which had been provided for them by Saw Gerrera.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, who they met because they wanted to escape, and I think it was...
that's one thing I found interesting, is that their relationship with Saw wasn't a political one. It was just circumstantial, and it was more personal.
Yeah.
They just wanted to get out of there and just not be a part of it anymore.
Essentially, yeah.
But of course, in so doing, their connection to Saw meant people thought that Galen was more political than he actually was.
No,
which is
the majority of the time he was largely not very political at all.
Like you say, he just buried himself in his work and really wasn't wanting to get involved in the politics, but inevitably just trying to escape ended up, just by complete, coincidence, it was Saw Gerrera that helped them out, and therefore they were sort of dragged into politics. I don't think he ever, he was a pretty peaceful guy, but liked his work, and that's pretty much...
You know what they say, the only thing needed for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. So
Indeed.
It was all Galen's fault.
He is the worst. He is worse than Darth Vader, in my opinion.
Forget Jar Jar Binks giving emergency powers to Palpy. It was actually Galen Erso not doing anything, which truly caused the fall of the Republic.
Yeah, he was super Jar Jar. He was the Kinky Binky. He was up there. There was a lot going.
Binky.
Well, I feel like he needs a nickname, and Kinky Binky's pretty.
That's a pretty great nickname, to be
pretty
fair.
good.
I'll give you that one.
he does. He gave his daughter a nickname, and she has like 100 names.
Yeah,
Galen Erso, and he doesn't even have one extra nickname. He just has him.
He's got a middle name, which I'm sure you'll tell us about later on.
Oh yes, I certainly will. Yeah, he does have a middle name.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, in their little homestead, they created an elaborate bunker system to hide in when Krennic finally found them and made his appearance. And that's the one we see Jin hide in the actual TV show that was created by the Ersos as a hiding place.
In a cave, no less.
Yeah. In a cave where they met. I'm sure they relived a lot of happy memories in that cave.
Yeah, Mummy, Daddy, this cave smells weird.
Oh, dear.
Just get in there, Jin. Get in there.
Honestly, could have picked a different cave.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the original plan when Krennic turned up was for Lyra and Jin to go in and hide, and Galen would pretend that both of them were dead and being like, both of them are dead and my mind's not what it was, blah, 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 sob story. But then, of course, this isn't what happened. Lyra was like, nah, I'm gonna kill this bitch. And and
this bitch going down.
She gave Jin the Kyber necklace, which was a little relic from Galen's research on Coruscant, which we talked about in our previous episodes.
We did indeed.
Yeah,
check him out if you haven't already.
Yeah,
while you're still here, even at this point, I'm not sure.
Pause
Go check out our earlier episodes.
Go back, listen to the other ones. It's the only sensible thing to do.
Indeed. Yeah. Why not listen to everything in order? You're going to miss out on such tasty tidbits.
Absolutely. And then she tried to kill Krennic, but didn't, and ended up herself being killed whilst giving Krennic only a shoulder wound, which, bad luck. And then once he'd finished talking to Galen and took Galen, they actually took Lyra's body with them and gave her a little funeral on Coruscant, which that was the thing I was going to point out, of Krennic doing a bad thing of having her killed, but then doing a nice thing of holding a funeral for her, which is like, you're a weird guy, Krennic.
Yeah, well, again, it's him just playing the game, trying to keep Galen on side, just be like, you understand why it's had to happen, but you're not imprisoned here. Or even though he was, it's sort of saying, like, you are going to be treated like a human. Here's this funeral for your wife. Let's try and just move past this. You're going to have everything that a normal person in the galaxy would have. And I think he was just like you say, just trying to win him over, really.
I think it was all for, we'll get into this more on the Krennic thing, but like you say, it was probably all for appearances kind of thing. He wanted to appear like he was sympathetic when he probably didn't care, to be honest, really.
Yeah. Most certainly he did not care. This was an ambitious guy who I think would just step on many toes to get where he needed to go.
Absolutely, yes.
But yes, so is that everything you have on lovely Lyra?
That's almost everything. I just wanted to quickly talk about some little behind-the-scenes stuff for you. So that's all of her life as we know it from beginning to end. Yeah. But in terms of another little thing I wanted to touch on is that while she studied the Force and was a strong believer, even wearing this thing called a red sash, which we see some of the people in Jeddah wearing, which is a way to associate yourself with Force worship, like the Church of the Force.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so she herself, although she believed in the Force, was not actually a Force-sensitive person, but there were plans originally in some of the early drafts of the scripts for her to have been a Jedi who escaped Order 66. They ultimately moved away from this as an idea because they wanted Rogue One to focus more on ordinary people in the fight against the Empire, which, although it would have been cool to have seen, a post-Order 66 Jedi, I think it was much better for Rogue One as a story to focus entirely on ordinary people and their fight against the Empire, which I think is much more interesting.
like that just average Joe, stand-up, basic average guy, Darth Vader.
Average Joe,
just
your average
just
Nari
his standard,
McVie.
just the good old non-Force using people like Darth Vader. Just let's focus on him this time.
Just an ordinary person like Lyra Palpatine, Yeah.
Do you know what? Like, I think that would have been a good idea, and I think they should have done it, but I know they were doing it without that Darth Vader scene in mind, which they added in last minute, didn't they? To try and beef it out. And it actually came up tops, it was quite good, I think.
That was a lot of beef.
But, I think given that they had that in there, if they had planned to have that in there the whole time, I think it would have made sense to have then just had a bit of Jedi in there as well, a bit of Order 66. But I understand the direction they went, but personally, I think it would have been cool for her to have been a Jedi that escaped Order 66. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those things of, I think they probably moved away from it when they decided that she was going to die early on in the film. Yeah. And I feel like it probably would have weighted it down a bit too much if it turned out she was a Jedi and stuff. So I think
most
it was
likely.
Probably for simplicity's sake. But also, I like the idea of Rogue One being about ordinary people, not necessarily strong Force users, even though it can be argued that Chirrut is Force sensitive.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, yes, in some way he draws from the Force, doesn't he?
Maybe. Yeah. And
cool.
that's all we got on Lyra. So, to sum up your questions, who is Lyra? She's a pretty cool cat. And where were the Ersos working in the flashback? It was on Coruscant, and Galen was working, and Lyra was just being annoying. So Krennic was like, bye.
I just phoned to say hi, but I guess I'll say bye. Anyway, well, with that in mind, then I guess thank you, Charles, for your little lecture on Lyra.
That's okay.
And now,
anytime.
Well, indeed, it was very, very in depth, insightful, and very interesting. Actually, I had no idea she liked caves.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
no idea she was into spelunking in such a big way.
Spelunking.
I love spelunking. It's such a good word.
I know. I mean, I'd do it.
The idea of actually going in a cave is probably more existential horror than I can bear. But the word
is great. Spelunking.
I'd happily stand at the top of, an entrance to a cave just being like, spelunking.
I'm spelunking right here. Thanks for listening to episode 3 from series 2 of the How Uncivilized podcast, focusing on Rogue One. Remember to subscribe to all our streaming services and join us in episode 4, where we talk about Daddy Galen.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit for all of your social media needs. Don't be afraid to get in contact with us if you ever have anything you want to share. We're also on YouTube, where you can find all of our previous episodes, as well as our playthrough of LEGO Star Wars. The How Uncivilized podcast was produced, created, and edited by Charlie HoloNet fan account Feasby and Spencer Badge with Honours Lawrence.